In 1998, I was doing an assessment at the Macon, Georgia ceiling tile plant out on the factory floor, trying to understand the excessive levels of downtime they were experiencing on one of their critical production lines. Through the day, I spent time with operators all through the line, listening to their issues they were dealing with and also observing. Took a lot of notes, and I thought there were a lot of really interesting and encouraging improvement opportunities that we could work on as a team. I spent some time with the plant manager explaining my approach and how I might go about helping the team resolve some of those downtime issues and problems on the line. He agreed to provide a team from the plant if I would be willing to come back in a couple of weeks to spend the week working on those issues. So I did. I came back and I had a team of mechanics, operators, and a retired supervisor. Now our sponsor was Carl, the business unit manager. And Carl agreed that he could give me the team, and if we needed to create some downtime to do some work, he was fine with that. I thought that meant Carl would also participate with us in an engaged way as our sponsor. But I was wrong. So the first day was Monday. We kicked off the team. Most of the folks on that team had never had the opportunity to work on improvements in their own area. So they were pretty excited about it and engaged. And although we weren't talking about lean per se, I was using lean principles to have them think about their issues in their area in a different way. After about an hour of talking about issues in the meeting room, we went out to the line to kind of identify the key areas that we thought we could improve. The ideas came fast and furious, and the operators, mechanics, and our supervisor came up with a ton of different things they thought would help the line be better and safer. Went back into the meeting room, and we prioritized 2 or 3 things that we thought if we could correct those issues, the line would run much better for everybody. So we, as a team, worked on the top priority item, which happened to be in the board cutting area of the fabrication line. Now, during the rest of that first day, the team started to make improvements, and we could clearly see things were getting better for the people on the line. We performed a bunch of tests, and even some of the crew members mentioned that things felt and were working better. At the end of a long first day, I sent the team home, and I decided to go see Carl, as we hadn't seen him the whole day, and I was wondering why that might be. So I went to his office, and he happened to be there. So I started our conversation by telling him what great work the team had done and how awesome it would be if he could join us a little bit to see what we were up to on the following day. Carl told me that he had a series of meetings that were going to take up most of the day, but if he had some time during one of the breaks between meetings, he would be happy to come out and see what we were up to. I didn't get clear commitment from him, but I felt like maybe there was a chance he'd come see us on the second day. Second day came, and the team was making some amazing improvements all over the line. People were coming up to us from the crew and from maintenance and telling us what a great job we were doing. The team was feeling wonderful about that. The thing that was missing, however, was no Carl. When the day again was over, I decided to go back to Carl's office to see if I couldn't convince him to come see us at least on the third day. What I found out was Carl had left for the day. Apparently something was more important. It was either a baseball game or playing golf or a trip to the store, but he had left early. So he had prioritized other things higher than what we were doing. I was pretty frustrated, and I felt like the team was missing the type of leadership support that they deserved. On the third day, I decided to not wait till the day was over, so at a break, I took a walk over to Carl's office. I really wanted to see if I could convince him to come out that day, if at all possible. So I went in there, went to his office, and I started the conversation telling him what a great job his team was doing and how people were coming up to us and thanking us for the work we were doing as they were seeing the results immediately. Carl looked at me and said, "Adam, what do you really want from me? What are you trying to tell me?" So I told him directly, Carl, it would be fantastic if you would come out to the line to show your commitment and your encouragement and support for the work of the team. To which Carl said, Adam, if you're questioning my commitment, you can question it from corporate headquarters. Now, I can tell you the rest of the conversation was a bit of a blur. What I can also tell you was I wasn't fired, and after whatever amount of minutes the rest of that conversation was, I'm sure there was a lot of Adam backpedaling. I walked out of his office quite disappointed, but tried not to show my frustration to the team as they were just continuing to make these awesome breakthroughs. The rest of the week they continued to make great improvements, and although Carl never showed up, the team didn't seem bothered by it. Not nearly as bothered as I was, and I didn't want to show that to the team. Now on Friday afternoon, I was able to set up a tour of the improvements, and some of the management team did show up, including Carl. Now to this day, I'm not really sure if what I said to him encouraged him to come out, or if he was going to come out anyway, or if I was basically forced on him by his plant manager or corporate. What I do know is the engagement that we did not get was not Carl's fault, and it wasn't management's fault. It was my fault. My process was flawed. And what I realized was I never provided an image to Carl, the plant manager, or any of the other staff on what good leadership commitment looks like. What I can tell you now is that I am able to provide that image, and that image is the wheel of sustainability. Since I built that, I've been able to create that level of engagement and leadership commitment so needed to support the winning efforts of our Kaizen teams. I hope this story provided you with some inspiration to revisit your own processes. I have a lot more I'd like to share. Head over to pi-partners.com to learn how I can help. And check back from time to time for more Kaizen stories.